Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City ComicCon. With me, as always, Johnny C., creator of Sartana, Surrounded by Death, and The Pond for who, Johnny?
My good cousin, Roger Morocco.
Awesome. And our third co-host, the Time Lord of Tangents himself, Harry G. And we threw away the intro. We threw away the countdown tonight because we wanted to just get right into the episode. We've got a great guest tonight, guys.
This is a very special episode. This episode will Keal.
Yes,
it will kill.
It will. And
bonus honestly, points to whoever knows what that means.
Yes,
because that doesn't mean what you think it means.
Before we bring our guest in tonight, Doug. Did you get to watch some episodes of Forged in Fire this weekend, or?
I did a little YouTube because I don't have Netflix. I never really watched it before. So I did a little YouTube, and I found myself enjoying Doug's personal blogs more than anything I saw from like Forged in Fire. Though Forged in Fire is really cool, I really thought Doug's personal combat training videos and his kind of his morning coffee ritual videos were a lot more like enlightening and cooler than like the Forge in Fire is cool and all, but I think Doug's just got like a really cool like actual channel with content that I think speaks to me a little bit more.
Gotcha. I love that. And I did subscribe to his channel, so I look forward to checking that stuff out too. Yep. The one thing I'm really curious is what his history with comics is as well, so
I'm very curious about that too.
Cool character. So for you guys that tuning in with us tonight, that for this episode, we have Doug Marcaida from History Channel's Forged in Fire, who's got a Kickstarter online right now for a comic book that he conceived the story for and put a whole team together to make this comic a reality. And it looks amazing. Like there's some good talent behind the book as well. So, Harry, do you want to intro our big guest tonight, and we'll bring him in if you want to.
I gotta say, I was a fan before, like when the show Forged in Fire first came on, I would watch it, and I thought it was a cool show. It's kind of like one of those like baking contest shows, but only with weapons from history. So it's kind of cool, how they made them. And so Doug is also not only a judge on Forged in Fire. He's the weapons. He tests the strength and the sharpness, and if the weapons will Keal, on the show. He's also a weapon knife designer and designer of other weapons. A Kali martial artist. He served in the Air Force for 8 years, I believe, and so he's So I'm very excited about tonight's show. I'm very looking forward to it.
Awesome. So without further ado, let's bring in tonight's guest, Doug Marcaida. Doug, hey,
how are you?
It's a pleasure to have you on the show, man.
Well, thank you for having me. This is going to be cool. I can't wait to talk more about what it is in the comic verse, and so curious to see what you guys are going to throw at me. So fire away.
Yeah. Well, first of all, before we even get into the meat of the interview, our resident illustrator here, Harry, made an image in your honor today, and I'm going to throw it up right now so you can check it out.
All right. I love that.
That's great.
You got to send me that. I got to be able to post that. That's amazing. Thank you, Harry. It's cool.
Of course.
That would make a great sticker right there.
That's a great
I like it.
Right there.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you.
That came out so good, Harry.
Love it. It's really good.
Yeah. So Doug,
I'm a big fan. I watched. Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Harry.
No. I'm saying I'm an actual. I watched your show when you first came on, and like I was just telling Keith before the show started, like I had a friend at work. I worked in a corporate office, and this is the kind of person that I wouldn't watch a weapons show necessarily. And I said, "Oh, it's a great show on that they make weapons from history, and they use a forge." And her last name is Smith, so maybe think of that show. And she's like, "Oh, you mean the guy who says he will Keal?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the one." So it's kind of cool that she would know the show too, you know. And so I've been a fan for years, actually. So
I'm glad you enjoy the show. That's amazing to hear. It's been a blessing to be part of a show like that, especially it's global. So we have a global reach, but the inspiration, what it's done, and we've been on over 10 years now. That actually we're a memory show now. So I love that. That's the reason I'm on TikTok, because I hear so many, of the fans writing, "Oh, you're the guy who I used to watch with my granddad or my father or my mom. It's a family show." And I'm like, "Well, good. Say hello to them." Oh, they're gone already. But when I watch the show, I remember them. It's a good feeling show. I'm like, wow. That is great, because I'm like watching Love Boat and I like MASH and all these old shows just to feel my own childhood. So I'm old enough to be part of that. So what a blessing.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's amazing. Like I definitely want to talk about the show a lot, but I'm really curious your history of comics. Like, did you grow up with comics?
Good question. So I grew up in the Philippines. It's a third world country. I could never afford comic books.
Okay.
I only watched comic books from my friends who could afford them from the US. So I never really understood that there are different issues that come in. I just watched it over and over. And because there would be like one comic book would last us like a month of reading, especially because some of them I stole. Okay, right? I was a kid, right? But I could watch the pictures over and over and over. Marvel comics, but even the older ones, where they had Donald Duck, and it's just different kinds of art. So the colors just blew me away, but I couldn't afford it. Fast forward, I come to the US and now I'm over here, and I found out that comic books are a great way to tell stories. Yeah. In my martial art, in my research, all doing Fortune Fire, even when we talked about the history of our art, it was all through oral history. So we started telling people in campfires of how we used to train. Then you think about the drawings they put on caves. Okay, cavemen did that, right? So we have art also. You see some of our drawings and some of the artwork that we have, the hidden meanings are in there. And then it comes to pass now that we have technology, right, to do this. So in cartoons and anime and everything else. So for me, it's a form of being able to leave behind something, tell my stories, but there are pictures with it. And each picture, depending on the kind of groups that you get together, can tell you 100 different things in just one picture. Like they say, 1,000 things can be seen in one painting. Same thing with this. So I'm very inspired to be part of this world. And I'm learning so much about it that it's actually affecting the rest of my stories that are going to be part of the saga. Absolutely.
No kidding. Like, how so? Like, is there...
Okay, all right. So my story, right? Basically... No, let me go back a little bit, because this is important to understand, the premise of this, right? Lineage is the title of my comic book. Okay. It's a story about, going back to your history to find out the truth, going back in the past to find out the truth. It's about brothers. These brothers, were part of a cult. Their father was part of a cult, made them train with a blade, right? It's really a no-no thing. But all of a sudden, a demon manifests itself and kills the father. The boys are taken away by their uncle and sent to the US. Oh, yeah, it's a similar story there, right? They grow up to be men. Excuse me. The older brother is haunted by nightmares of the demon killing his father all the time. Okay. The only thing he has left is a blade that he inherited. But he doesn't want to know much about the blade because too many bad memories. So he uses it to open boxes. He uses it for whatever, right? But never for what it was intended for. Younger brother, he's lost. I don't remember much. So he wants to know more about the blade, but they're strange because the brother wants nothing to do with the past. Here's a younger brother who wants some more. So what does he do? He's on TikTok doing his own paranormal shows, but the reason for that is because he wants to know more about this. Well, fast forward with the story. Now, all of a sudden, while the brother watches one of his, TikTok things, the brother now has leads about the blade, and he's following these leads. There's this particular mark in there that they're looking for. Well, as he's watching his brother do this, he sees in the background, as a flash comes through, a mark, a logo of the past. And that triggers the brother to freak out, right? I got to go save my brother. He's in danger. This is not good. And he rushes to his apartment, fast forward, When they get there, he's yelling like, what the hell's the matter with you? Why are you still looking for this? Like, they're arguing about this whole thing, right? And by the way, hello, I haven't seen you in years, but here you are all pissed off about it. And then the demon manifests itself because he knew it was in danger. And sure enough, the demon's there. Older brother's shocked. It's the demon of my nightmares. What's it doing over here? Younger brother's like, get out of my apartment. Nobody, I invited you here. So they're fighting until the demon steps in to hurt the younger brother. Big brother comes on. All of a sudden, he feels the blade shake and, it comes to light. Oh, wow, I got a weapon. Oh, it's a weapon now, huh? Stabs the demon. Demon bleeds. Wait a minute. It's a demon. If it bleeds, you can kill it. All of a sudden, all the memories come back of our training, and then he remembers what this was for. And he tells his younger brother, do you remember how our dad taught us to fight together? All that brother goes, oh, you mean this? He goes, yes. Goes, that's what they face the demon and slowly dispatch him. And when they kill the demon, they realize this is no demon. It's a man with a mask. And they peel the mask. And now they're like, what's this all about? The story now unfolds. The younger brother is, cool mask. What the hell's all about? Younger brother, the blade. Now it's not what they thought it would be.
Right.
The journey begins.
Sets up the mystery.
Here's the thing. The whole story is told by the blade.
I love that.
The guys aren't part of this. This is just the witness. You see, in the beginning, when you see the comic book, the comic art here, can I show that close up there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hang on. Let me make it big.
There we go. So when my artist did this, he called it still light, right?
Okay.
But you see, when you see it in red and black, it's actually the blade talking, but we don't reveal that till later, right? But if you just look at the still life right here, this is what it says. If only you could see through the edge of my existence. In the hands of a child, I walked through terror, yet felt the weight of shadows where hearts stood still. In the quiet of moments, I longed to be heard sharp as a blade, but a keeper of tales untold. In the hands of the brave, truth of the shadows dwell. Comes a tale where every blade has a story to tell. Poetic. But what's so beautiful about this still art right here, if I may, is the blade's right here, and it's already graying. This is the mask in the beginning. You have two older men, and these are written in shapes of the way the Filipinos paint their ancestors. We have an urn of ashes here, and you have a candle that's flickering. You see, the blade pretty much is saying, I'm about to die, but before I die, before the light of this candle extinguishes, let me tell you my story, a story that I witnessed. And then he goes back in the beginning.
Oh, wow.
I have an artist here who wrote all this without telling me. I didn't ask for that. I had the writing, but I didn't ask for him to tell that. I'm like, that's just like the movies where before I die, or this is how I got here. Let me tell you how I got here.
Yeah,
but
right.
It already tells you that, right? So that's how it starts, and from that goes the journey.
I love that, man.
I love that you did a couple of things. I love the number one. The artwork is beautiful that you've shown off so far. Very beautiful artwork. The narrative from the perspective of the blade. I think in another YouTube video you mentioned how the blade found it incredulous that it was being used for peanut butter and jelly. And it's such an awesome way of storytelling, just to kind of lend itself to because that's what you're trying to tell, where this blade came from, where it's been, where it's going, right? And to kind of have that kind of narrative storytelling to allow this inanimate object to share its thoughts and feelings, and for a reader to be able to connect through the blade and something very specific to you, like you're very blades are very personal to you. I love this. This is inherently a very much your story, and it goes to show from the product you've produced here.
There is a lot of myself in here. I'm on the last quarter of my life. So what is my purpose now? My purpose is to leave everything that made me shine. I'm doing seminars and leaving my knowledge of knives, my knowledge of my martial arts. I'm designing a lot of blades and leaving it all behind. A lot of my blades are going to be found in my comic series. But before I leave, I want to start off with telling about, so you talked about how you see my morning coffee, my morning coffee talks. I do a lot of speaking engagements and everything else. One thing I know, talk about what you know. Talk about yourself and what you've experienced, and you'll never go wrong. That's where I'm starting. So for my first comic book, I'm talking about my culture, where I'm from in the Philippines, my knowledge of the blade, the stories that all my teachers told me about the blade. We have a lot of spirituality. We have a lot of stuff that is kind of like science tells you this, but the mystics tell you that. All these superstitions about the blade that I found all amazing. I wanted all these things that my teachers passed on to me somehow, some way, is in a comic book form. So I get to pass it on for them. My lineage is now passed on to my audience and everybody else that's part of it. So that was important to me to do. That's why the first one is about the Philippines.
Oh, dude, and the title itself lends itself to so much too. You have the brothers and their lineage. You have the lineage of the blade. You have the lineage of the Filipino culture that permeates through the book. Beautiful way of tying all of that together.
Well, it goes deeper than that, if I may.
Please share
lineage, right? So you have the lineage of the blade. You see, in the beginning, when that candle flickers, dies out, so will the blade. The mark of the blade right here, the blade now gets reincarnated in another blade, in another era, in another time, to tell its own new story.
Cool.
There, but then if you start to see all these different books, you start to see that they're all from the same soul of that blade. It's just being reincarnated everywhere. So that's one lineage.
Oh, wow.
Another lineage is connected, that everyone who joins my Kickstarter will forever be, this is the first issue, forever be engraved in every issue of that book. Here's my idea with that. I wrote lineage for my great-great-great-great-grandkids that I just will never meet. I'll be gone. So I want them to go, hey, remember that awesome series Lineage? That's my grandfather who wrote it. I want somebody goes, you know what? That really awesome Lineage series, that's my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather listed right there. So my lineage becomes everyone who joins me, their lineage. Think about this, Star Wars or Game of Thrones comic book and everything else. Did George Lucas or the other guy, did they ever say, hey guys, join up and be part of my Star Wars saga? No. Well, I get to do that. I get to make them part of it. Why lineage? Because we like to hand out. What am I going to do with a comic book when I'm dead? Now, here's another thing. This is actually a working karambit design, right? It's actually a karambit, a tactical karambit that's going to be found in here. But wait, there's more. Issue 2, I'm introducing this is for the Crocodile Man. That's one of my designs, the battle ball, because this will also be used in the show. But wait, I'm not done yet. I'm going back to teaching tomahawk fighting, right? So I have the Kali Hawk here that I'll be teaching with that. Now, these guys are making cameos. Well, actually, you were there. Well, I really wasn't there, right? But were we really there? Yeah. So what do you enjoy? I actually enjoyed being on the show because I get to show my, well, so me too. Now, okay, guys, enough. So there are real blades I designed. They will have trainer versions. As a matter of fact, not only that, you're going to also get a pendant because it's cool art. I wear it all the time.
Yeah.
Why? Because just like the word says, when you're hammering in Forged in Fire, right? They say, I mold my blade, and they put their blood, sweat, and tears and their soul into the blade. The blade's meaningful to the bladesmith. When he gives it away, does the blade ever get the chance to come back and say, hey, Dad, guess what? You made me as a weapon to stab everything and open up and do all these things. Well, the person you gave me, he used me to clean his toenails. Gross! Sorry, buddy. I have no control over that. But it gives it a meaningful soul, doesn't it? Well, so does being part of this. You get a comic book that talks about a character, that you have a character that you actually have that you read over here. Now you get to pass this on to your loved ones. Wow, you have an heirloom to give back. If you're part of our lineage, you are part of passing on something, because this is what I'm envisioning. I don't know how many books of this I'll be able to make, but once I'm gone, I want our community to pick up and make it their lineage and continue the story. Same thing with the designs. Once I'm gone, design something and continue the story. Lineage is not about me. It's about everyone I've ever met or am part of. That's a unique way of doing a comic series that the followers, anyone who's in love with the stories, get to be a part of it. Have a whole community of telling stories. That's my purpose of Lineage.
I love that. And Harry, it looks like you wanted to ask him a question.
I mean, so many things. I can fire hose you a bunch of questions right now, but
Fire away.
to show off You should show off the design on your karambit with the people holding hands, the stick figures. That's kind of cool design that you do.
You got very good. So, if I may, good catch there.
Hang on,
right?
let me make you big here.
So when this was designed, because by my artist, right, who's a man of the people, he travels and everything else, I asked him Lineage to put up. I thought at first it was crocodile scales. And he goes, crocodile scales? No, look at it this way. You see the dot? That's a head. These are stick men holding hands. Lineage.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
That's passing on your aura, your soul, your knowledge, your family helping each other. I'm like, is that real? He goes, and he showed me a tattoo. It's right on his leg. Done by a lady who's 109 years old, famous in the Philippines, who does it the old style still. Wow. So there is a lot of things in this comic book that are Easter eggs that I was not. That's why I said, I am so lucky to have this guy. I never asked for a mask. He was written down as a big bad guy, muscular and everything else. He put a skull in. Okay, that skull is so important because it is a Filipino water buffalo, right? That's our national animal. It symbolizes strength, everything but kindness. That's a gentle giant. But when you put it on in the shadows, it looks like a demon, but it's actually a giant in the power. So many things here that are about my culture. Even the way he wrote this, so subtle. I had to find this out because I had tell me the story of what you were writing, because you put a lot of things in there. It goes, okay, well, in the beginning I had this, and then you put them, and he told me all the small things in there. I'm like, my mouth just dropped. And he's putting sound effect. So he put a soul to the story. But then later on, when I found out, he goes, look at the small stuff here, if I may, right? So these are the brothers training. That's the older brother. That's the younger brother, right? But if you could see here, the older brother has a Band-Aid on the thumb.
Oh, okay.
Younger brother has nothing going on. They're training. The younger brother can deflect stuff. He can almost cut him, but he doesn't. But the older brother has a temper. He turns red, so much so that he turns into an evil guy. Sometimes his father had to stop the fight. I'm like, a Band-Aid? Are you kidding me? He goes, well, I wanted to show that the older brother is not as good as the younger brother. I'm like, I didn't ask for that. It's inferred in there. He goes, yeah, but if you put a Band-Aid, holy smokes, how many Easter eggs do you have in there? Tons.
That's going to ask Doug.
I like
that's an illustrator will do that. Will strengthen the story visually. You know what I mean? I love that. Go ahead, Harry.
We're blown away with the things he's coming up with, because that's why when I brought the group together, I said, I'll start out with my frame of my story, but I invite you to be part of it, because if you invest a piece of you will really take pride in this. This is your lineage now. If I just told you write the story the way I said it, it's like just another job. I don't want to be just another job. I want this to be yours too, that you get to pass this on. It's our lineage.
I love that. Yeah, I love
Doug, did you have input on the arts tactical, like the moves and
fighting?
stuff? Yes.
Oh, without a doubt. The weapons and the fighting, that's mine. So I told him, okay, here we go. Because there is a lot of fighting in here. And I told him, number one, I don't want to see Superman punch. I don't want to see Hulk smash. I don't want to see Spider-Man pose, right? I got to see Filipino martial arts. So what I did, he's not a practitioner of the Filipino martial arts. He's just, who understands the culture. So I recorded myself and my brother training. Just the videos you see there, I recorded it. I did a lot of techniques. I would slash with it here and everything else. That's what we're going to do. And then he watched it over and over and over till he was able to understand the motion and get inspired by it. You see, because if I do a simple motion, like, for example, like slash this way, like they're scissoring and cutting. Well, you're frozen this way, but he puts a swoosh in there. And I like to see also the way they move the body and how they angle out. I go, he caught that. I go, that's what I want to see, because Filipino martial art practitioners will recognize the motions. So there's got to be some kind of authenticity to our moves.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying. That it brings that authenticity, because you can see like the lines, the movement. It's almost like a guide, right?
Yep. And even the bowing, right? This is how we salute. Which in Dune, may your blades, it's like, no, that's Filipino martial. People go, why do you keep on using the Dune salute? No, that's our salute that Jason Momoa learned, and he left a lot of Easter eggs for his son, who's a practitioner.
There you go. Oh wow! Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Harry, did you have questions?
I mean, your whole life is a lineage too. Like even when you teach your students in Marcaida Kali, I love the final exam that you give. Like, can you talk about the final test?
Yes. Wow, somebody's been like this weird, like, oh, you've been watching some of my interviews. That's awesome. Yeah. So here's the thing: when I learned my martial art, right, it's something that I don't necessarily. It was told to me this way: you were not put in this world to carry my name. You carry your own name. Because you're the one as a student who studied, you're the ones who put all the hours in, not your teacher. Your teacher is nothing more than a guide. So when I created Marcaida Kali, I put bits and pieces of myself, and I see them my students. I give them the format, but they will put, you can't avoid that, put pieces of themselves in there. So it's never pure as Marcaida Kali. So the last level of my thing is I request them, graduate, now create your own system and put your name to it. Don't use my name. I was your source. But you stand up and be recognized because you suck and I don't want your name around my system. No, because you need to be recognized. You put your lifelong meaning. And if you want to teach it, this is really you. And that's the way it should be, right? We are all our own person. We give a credit, but it should. But the true credit is the practitioner, not the teacher.
Doug, you reminded me of my grandmother passing on recipes and not giving certain ingredients to allow the person to put their spin and their thumbprint on it. Personalization. I love that.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
Very
Go
much
ahead,
so.
Harry.
No, you know what else your story reminds me of? Your life story, not just your comic book story. Ever the story of the stonecutter? Are you familiar with that story?
Far away.
The stone, it's an old Chinese folklore story. So basically, there's like a stonecutter. I guess his job was to cut headstones for grave sites or whatever, And he was very unhappy with his life. I'm trying to keep this very brief story. It's a very long story. So he was like chiseling away. He's like, oh, there's got to be something better than this life than what I'm doing as a stonecutter. So he's like, I wish I could be something more powerful. And he sees like a merchant, walk by, like a very rich merchant. He's like, oh, I want to be that guy, So poof. He becomes the merchant, and now he's like rich and powerful, and he can buy things and whatever. He's a wealthy man, whatever. And then he sees like a high official being carried around in a chair by his men, his bodyguards. It's like, oh, this guy is very powerful. That guy doesn't even have to walk, He's being carried around, in this chair. I want to become that high official. He's a very powerful man, And then this high official is sitting in his chair, and he's feeling all powerful and everything. And then all of a sudden, he feels the heat of the sun shining on him, and he's getting hot. Like, what is this? Like, I'm burning up here. The sun's like making me hot, So obviously the sun's the most powerful thing, that's around. I want to become the sun. So poof, he becomes the sun. So now it's like shining down, scorching the land. It's like beating. The heat's making everyone hot and sweat and whatever. It's like, so I'm the most powerful thing. And then all of a sudden a rain cloud gets in the way of him and the earth. It's like, I can't, my beams won't shine through the cloud, like this cloud's the most powerful thing in the world. So I want to be that cloud. So he becomes a rain cloud. So then now it's all, raining on people's parade, whatever. And then he feels like a force. The wind is pushing him. It's like, oh my God, I'm being pushed by this wind, like obviously the wind is the most powerful thing in the world. I want to be the wind. So now he's the wind and like blowing things, like, whatever, blowing trees down, whatever, people down. He's like, but then he comes across a stone, and as the wind's blowing the stone, and it's, no matter how hard it blows, it can't roll over the stone. It won't budge, And so it's like, clearly the stone is the most powerful thing in the world. I want to become that stone. So now he's a stone, can't budge. Nothing can, whatever, stop him or whatever, move him. And then all of a sudden, one day he feels himself being chipped away, and it's the stonecutter. So he becomes he's like, clearly, yes, full circle. So it reminds me of you. It reminds me of the story when you were in the Philippines growing up. You were, I don't know, I don't want to use the word ashamed, but you were like, yeah, there's got to be something better than this life in the Philippines. So I want to go. And if you heard of the United States, you migrated here. And then even when you migrated here, you weren't considered a full American or a full citizen here. You're being made fun of. So you joined the Air Force. Which is amazing. Just to show them that you're more American than the Americans were. They're making fun of you or whatever.
Thank you for your service too, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. And that's when you discovered, the Filipino martial arts. And then you went back to the Philippines to learn, to master it, whatever. And then you were proud of your heritage. So it's a pretty amazing story that when I read that, I'm like, I just thought of the stonecutter, it's like full circle.
Very cool. Thanks for sharing that.
Lineage. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it goes full circle. Even I call this my cycle of knife. When I started learning cycle of life, right? I first I learned to face the fear of knives because I was afraid of knives. Growing up in the Philippines, I was part of a gang. I got accosted, and I have a lot of where the blades were put to me, and I didn't like that, right? So I did martial arts that didn't require weapons, and I joined the military, and that's when I got back into it because I was kickboxing, but I wanted to learn. And lo and behold, the guy who was very good with his hands told me, "Oh, it's Kali. Oh, Kali, that's Filipino martial arts, right?" No, I didn't know what it was. They goes, "It's Filipino martial arts." I'm Filipino. I never studied it. Oh, in the Philippines, I know that's Arnis and the Scream. I go, I know that. Wait, then it made me feel weird. I'm like, oh, wait, those are the criminals to learn that art. I don't want to learn that. Then he goes, but you want to learn how to kickbox? I go, yeah. Then you have to learn how to do it. But he guided me. I had to face my fear, and I'm like, I'm your friend. I'm not going to hurt you. I'll take you step by step. And before you know it, I was addicted to it. And then I started studying it, the offense, the defense, and I got to design it because based on what I was doing, I got to teach it in seminars. I started becoming a military contractor in combatives, so blade combatives. So it really brought me in so many stages. So I understood the blade. Then I got into Fortune Fire, where I got to see how it was made and understand how it was made. Forced me to learn how to use it. And all the things in my life, all about the bladed edge and everything else, it was all about destruction. Everything was to destroy. I'm a warrior. I will destroy. And it's also kind of sad because I am a jock. I never learned how to fix anything. I can destroy stuff. In my household, all the toolbox, everything else, that's my wife. She builds everything. I hold stuff. I can destroy stuff. Don't come to dad to ask for anything. I'm an angry guy. Just get dad. He'll destroy stuff. I'll be the demolish guy. Even though my kids are like, Dad, can you ask mom to build this for us? Well, what's wrong with me? Well, we got to know how you build stuff. All right, never mind. But as I got older and wisdom comes in, I realized that of which has served to destroy can also serve to build. We use knives to cut for our food. We use knives to heal. And in the medical, I was in the medical field. We use it to open up people, to clean wounds. We use it to build stuff, everything else. There are two sides to everything else. This is not evil on its own. What made this evil to me, where I got fear, was a situation I put myself in by joining the gang and by being accosted by the people who were part of that gang that scared the daylights out of me. But the blade wasn't evil. It's the way I look at it. Now, I only understood this when I had to go back in my past and face my fear. And I realized, well, yeah, I was a teenager. I was a punk then. But now as an adult, I go back, don't put yourself in that situation. Don't do it. I can look at it from a different point of view. It's a healing thing. So yeah, I always say it doesn't matter what's in your hands. It's what you do with it that matters.
That's awesome.
It's another full circle moment, like kind of like Batman as a young Bruce Wayne. He was afraid of bats, but then he became Batman. So you were afraid of the blade, and then now you're designing blades. It's kind of cool. Full circle again.
I'm blessed.
It's very cool because you learn to respect it for its power, right?
Yeah.
And in turn, that allowed you to be able to commandeer it and master it.
Well, you understand the responsibility that comes with something like that. For example, it will kill. That was never. So when we did a pilot episode, I was an end user, so we had to come up with a test. And I'm like, well, what are we going to test? We'll do the bread test, and we'll do the phone book test that they do. I'm like, that is boring, So can I do a kill test? Because at the time, as a contractor, we were killing pigs, carcasses, right, to get the feel and the smell and everything else. So we made a meat man out of a. What was it that we found over there? It was a coat hanger, right? A coat rack, right? Just wrapped up the meat and I cut it up to pieces. Later on, when we did the pilot, we actually had carcasses. But it was a kill test, so it's either it will kill. That's it if it passes. Well, one time I got so excited, my accent came out. I go, it'll kill. And everybody held on to that. I actually tried to remove it too. Like, there were times when I go, it'll kill. And the voice and the producer, you got to say kill. No, you're typecasting me. No, you got to say it. And then I found out it was a family show.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't glorify kill. All right, then let's change it to Keal, Keal, keep everyone alive. So it will kill. That means a more responsible way of saying what you're using the weapon for, because that follows the way I say things about my martial art. It's not about how many you hurt; it's about how many you can protect.
Yeah, I love that. And so, Doug, so I'm curious, how did the show come about? Like, how did they find you to become a judge and all that?
They found me on YouTube. when they were looking
Really?
for an end user. Yep.
Oh,
So they saw
okay.
my videos on YouTube, and they said, "Yeah, let's get on a Zoom call and let's see if you can talk on camera." And I was able to.
Wow.
There you go.
Okay.
Not bad.
That's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I saw that it's like the History Channels. It's constantly in their top 10 ratings, and like
Yeah, well, we are on a hiatus right now because of the way cable and in the film industry is. We have not filmed in 3 years, and we used to film a lot. We had a lot. Normally, we were on all year. Well,
Okay.
when we left 3 years ago, they was like everything was on hold. They're like how they're waiting to be bought out by Warner Brothers, Netflix, or whatever is going on. So they're
Yeah,
slowly letting it out. We just let 8 episodes out last August, and we ended in November. And this year we still have 12 episodes. So they're gonna slow bleed that out too. And I'm just like already in the stage where it's done a lot already, whether we go back to filming or not. I'm ready to move forward with another show, with our own. And we're in the works of that. So we'll see
Oh,
what
that's
happens.
cool.
Fortune Fire, it cannot belong to one network. It's an all world thing. It's done so much for everybody. You can't just rely on keeping it for one network. It's for everyone.
So so this new show that you would do would be like almost a continuation of Forged in
It would be
Fire, or-
related to it. It would be
I
related
gotcha.
to it.
Okay.
But not
Would it
so
also
much
be
more.
for it would be for another network and everything too as well?
I can't I don't know
Oh,
yet.
you
I don't
talk
want to burn my
about it.
bridges with history. I have to see what happens.
Yeah.
But there's enough interest and producers that want to continue the whole feeling of it, just to maintain that, you know. And Fortune Fire was there not just as, you know, a competition show, because that's not how you make blades. So it's truly a competition show, because a lot of people try to study that, because that's not how blades are. But there's also the idea of understanding metallurgy, or being literate with your hands again, of creating stuff. I'm like, I think, guys, we're not going to have a second season here, because how many weapons can you really do? We're just like chop. It's just passion. You can be like a cooking show. You can be like a building show. You can be all these things. So it's just passion. Everybody recognizes passion. So that's why I believe the show did very well. It is going to do well.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
Mhm.
I'm sure Harry's got more
speaking of
questions
TV
on deck.
Well, no. Speaking of TV shows, your Lineage was supposed to be a TV show, right? Wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So when we started this, I've written this story I've had, because it's always passed down among our martial art group, and we talk about it. Hey, if you know, wouldn't this be a cool story? Because we talk about blades and everything else, and that idea that every blade has a story. It's been among all of us. So it's a story that's been polished over 15 years. Well, when I was in Fortune Fire, my producer, I presented that to him. He loved it. He goes, yes, we're going to do this. We'll connect it to Fortune Fire. We'll make a show out of it. And what happened once COVID hit, he left our show. He left the industry. So now we're like, well, I better get this on paper before anything else. And that's why I had the comic book idea. And whether it becomes a show from that, I'm hoping. You never know. But at least I know it's forever in print. That can never be taken away. It's already there.
I was going to say, I'm so glad the TV show didn't work out, because it gave you the opportunity to do the comic.
Absolutely.
And to allow people to, like you said, jump on board the saga and to buy in on the ground floor of your story. Like, I think that's really cool. And, you know, hopefully one day, because it is a very cinematic sounding story, and I'd love to see an episode by episode basis narrated by the blade itself. But that being said, you know, I think it's really cool that it started in the comic format.
I think so. You know what? That's why I believe that God works in mysterious ways. I truly believe it. I've had more connection with this, the way it is from a comic book point of view. I've had the Easter egg stories. It allowed me to do a lineage and passing it on with my father. If you're going to be part of it, this becomes yours too. I can't do that with a TV show.
No, of course not.
Allow them. I'm designing things that you tangibly can hold on to. It's also that I got drawn into the comic world. So when I saw the mask, not originally there, it is a cult. Okay, good. I went to San Diego Comic-Con to announce this. I saw cosplay face to face for the first time. 80 degrees and people are in their leather suits and everything else. But the person underneath that, who are they? Then I started to think about, what is cosplay? Why does my guy have a mask? What kind of cult are you in? Because it is cultish behavior. And there's a science to this. There's a psychology to why do we all, this is a mask, it's a skin mask. But when I wear something in front of it, who do I become? Because I'm not seen. What does that stir in me? Or what kind of vices can I do when I wear a mask? Because I saw furries out there, or Furbies, or whatever they're called. There's so much in that world. Masquerade, what do you think that's all about? So when you think of it, Eyes Wide Shut and all that, there is something when you put on that I brought in and added to my story. It was already about a cult, because my training, we trained 6 hours. We trained in the dark. We trained in campfires. We had drum music and everything else. Tell me that's not cultish behavior. It was. Because the art, the teacher, some systems I was involved in my early days was kind of cultish. It was. We were like, oh yeah, we drank the Kool-Aid per se.
Yeah, it's all how you look at it, right? Like, I mean, yeah, it's so true. Go ahead, Johnny.
It can easily become an obsession.
Yeah, I was gonna say, speaking of like, coming into the comic world, I see that, for the Kickstarter campaign, you're linked up with Kid Hero Productions. Can you talk a little bit about how you met them, how that came about, and how you got to basically putting together the Kickstarter?
A friend of mine, because we were, who's a publicist, Winston Imano. I reached out to him because I saw that I saw in his Instagram feed he did WonderCon. So I go, hey, you guys, you know anyone in the comic books world? He goes, yeah, as a matter of fact, what's your story? And I told him, he goes like, hey, it's a Filipino story. I happen to know Filipinos who run something. So he introduced me to Kid Heroes. It's very much Filipino-centric, of the Lumpia verse and everything else. So it was perfect. But then when I talked to the Kid Heroes producer there, he goes, you know what? We'll bring in the whole cast who understands our culture. So that was perfect. And then he brought in this artist. Now, when he brought in this artist, I'm looking at it. This is really good stuff. I don't know anything. I don't know the difference. What's my point of reference? So when I was in San Diego Comic-Con, there was an artist beside me who was supposed to be famous and all this. So I asked, what about, we were talking, because his story was also amazing. He was born and raised in the U.S., never thought about his culture until he went to the Philippines, and then he found his identity as a Filipino. Then he came back and he was like, he saw things differently. I left the Philippines to go to the U.S. to find my identity as a Filipino. So we had that tie. But he goes in like, you have a good artist there. Like, good, everything else. Nice to know. I'm talking to people and they go, yeah, well, this artist, I think his name was Will Sportacio. And apparently he said that this is a good artwork.
Yeah.
But I found out who Will was. I'm like, I was sitting beside a legend and I had no clue. I'm like, whoa. And because I talk to so many now in the comic book world, I'm like, you know Will? I'm like, yeah, he's a big deal. I'm like, yeah, he's like, one of the OGs. I'm like, had I known. And I'm like, so but I did meet him. I did have a connection. I'm like, you got to come back and we got to work together, because this is only book one. This is Brotherhood of the Blade. The story doesn't, once that's done, it goes on, and there'll be so many other stories to tell, because every blade has a story to tell.
Now, are you planning on making the blade for each story as well? Like, is that like part of it?
They become a main character. So let's say in book one. Now, these guys, though, are cameos, right? They're making cameos. But my blades are going to be in there. Now, if I go to a different country, a different era and everything else, I may design the blade from that, because I will be researching into that country. Yeah, because then it makes it meaningful to me. Yeah. So if I, let's say, go and for some reason the blade wakes up as a Viking axe, or it wakes up into a kukri or something, I'll research that, but I will design something like that, because in my research for that, and I will make it mine, and then I will present it there. Now you've got that, because it's got to have that feeling. The comic book has to have something in it that they can do. And who knows, right? With the connections I'm making, I'd love to see cosplay walk around with some of my weapons in the future. Of course, they light up and everything else, and that's not necessarily the real thing. It better not be the real thing, but I'd love to see that. Yeah, that's what I'm telling people. Join me. I'm telling you right now, you will not be disappointed. So in my seminars, the confidence I have in what I'm teaching, I always tell people, okay, fine. If you can do what I'm doing, and you better do it the way I do it, as well as I do it, then the seminar is free. If you can't, if you don't enjoy it, the seminar is free, right? That's the confidence that I have. Now, I kind of told Kid Heroes, like, well, tell them that if they read a story and everything else, and they truly are honest that they don't like it, then the comic book is free. It was like, that's not a good business model. I'm like, well, but I have so much passion in this. Remember, this story has been told and retold for 15 years. Everyone I've ever told it to loves it. How can it not be good? When I was in Athens Con, people were coming up to, oh, great artwork. Artwork is a story. It's a story. And I had to explain to them with my interpreter and everything else. Everyone was blown away. So I know it's a good story. It's very unique, but it involves you also. So that's why I want people to like be part. I'm giving you a chance that other, when the internet first came in, you better jump in right now. Or if I was Mark Zuckerberg, I'm going to create Facebook. Want to join me? And look at where it is today.
There you go.
Yeah, right.
How was Athens Con? Because actually I'm Greek, and I didn't
beautiful.
know that they would have a convention. I didn't know they would have a convention there, at all.
I'll be honest. I loved it more than I did. I've been to New York Comic Con and I've been to San Diego Comic Con. My only choices. Athens Con was nicer because number one, I got to really interact with people. I got to teach a lightsaber class twice because it's a big convention, right? And they have like a giant gym in there. So I went over there. I told them, since I know how to do weapons, like give me a lightsaber. So I did it for the kids. And that's like herding cats because their attention span is like 5 seconds. I'm running all over and I'll just have fun. And then the next day I did it for adults and I did the same thing. But a lot of people were dressed up in Star Wars things. I'm like, this is pretty cool. They were part of the 501st and the Star Wars parade. So next thing you know, they came in and Sunday goes like, would you lead the parade? Sure. So we walked around everywhere and I'm just wielding the lightsabers as they're following me, right? And it was such a great thing. I didn't expect that. But I really loved it there because everybody that's there gives a lot to be there, if I may say so. The economy's not so good over there. So a lot of people who are there, they're spending something. It's hard. And what I got to do that I love was I'm doing meet and greets, right? And I'm signing for them. But they're walking up and they're like, and there's a rule also, by the way, if you're there, because we were a cast of we had a panel of people walk up to me with all these things. I was breaking the rules. I'm like, well, I'll give it for free. I don't care. So I'm like, when I see their ass, and I see them calculating, I go, come here. I just sign it, take it, go. Thank you. I can see it, and they're embarrassed to ask. I go, no. This is here. Get over here. And I love that. Awesome. I love connecting. Food was amazing. The people were amazing. Oh, and I was so inspired by the Acropolis. Oh my gosh.
Of course.
Yeah.
Maybe I could lead into something that say maybe part 2 could be a Cephos. There's so much because there's a special artwork that they create. Part 2 could possibly be a story. The blade might be going to Greece. I don't know. I was so blown away by the place and inspired that because in the comic they do comic art. But in the comic art, there was a story being told right there. I was blown away. Like sometimes I look at, I'm a person who always looks for signs. There's a reason we're all talking in the world. It's just a matter of sometimes we don't trust that that's an actual sign. God talks to us all the time. We just don't want to listen, or we're so caught on territory. We're the ones who are tuned out. So there was a lot of that. But I don't want to let everything out of the bag right away.
I wanted to circle back around to the campaign, Doug. Now you have a lot of really awesome tiers. Well, because it's live right now, and congrats. So you guys are doing really well so far. It looks like, and you're pacing pretty good too. But are there any specific tiers you could recommend to somebody to back?
Well, okay. So right now, the early bird is all done. We have metal cards for that, but it keeps on rising, right? The next thing is for the next 50 backers, you're going to get a special see-through cover with a splash name of Lineage in there. But we're creating more. I mean, that's why we're looking at how it's going. But the more involved you are, the more. So I want to create this one right here as a tier and put a laser comic art right there. And laser that. So now you have a functional thing that also is that. I'd love to be creative with that. We've got the pendants that we're also going to be putting of the stars of the show right there. It's red when it's alive. It's black when it's dormant, but very cool to wear. These are the tiers I want to do as we're creating it. We also have this Lineage training stick. This is a Kali stick. It's rattan, right? But we have that, and also the lithographs in there. I mean, so it's memorable. I wouldn't train with it anymore once there, and I'll sign all this. Why? I don't like asking my fans or followers something for nothing. It's bad enough with the way the economy is and everything else. That's why I want something in exchange. For you making this happen, this is yours now. Now you are part of it. You'll forever be ingrained. But let me get you other stuff that you can truly enjoy, that you can be part of. That now you have something that say, I got this signed and everything else. Why? Because you're going to pass this on. What are you going to do with it when you're dead? Now it's got value. You've got your lineage to pass on. Make it special. And that's what I want to do. That's why I'm saying the Kickstarter and crowdfunding isn't just about crowdfunding. It's about a movement, a purpose. Who gets to be part of a lineage?
Yeah.
It's not just mine, it's ours. Did the other authors do that? No. Then let me be the first.
I love that, Doug. That's so cool. Like I
Well,
love,
like I said, right? When I'm gone, I want you guys. So if you guys are part of it, you carry it on. Tell the stories after I'm gone.
Right.
Carry on the characters.
Yeah.
I want to have a Keal community where
Right.
people actually talk about the characters, get excited about that, and feel like, oh, this character should be this. Or what about this blade? Or somebody comes up and goes, hey, I just came from this part in Africa, and boy, do they have some stories over there. And let's research and bring it to life.
That's cool. That's
love
cool.
it.
I love that you want to apply the story not just to the Filipino culture, but you want to spread it. You want to bring all blades, all different types of characters. You want to span the globe, and it's all kind of framed in the blade, right? I love that. I love that you're able to.
Today I wake up and I'm
like,
this. And I'm doing... Well,
it's
that's
almost
the
like
reason why
Quantum Leap.
Fortune Fire, we did weapons and iconic weapons from all over the world. It wasn't just one country.
Yep.
I was going to say it's almost like quantum. It's almost like Quantum Leap of knives, almost, or weapons. Because
you can say that. Yeah, you can say that.
It becomes another knife somewhere else.
I could see that in the sense that like every knife is a different story. So it's like
because who knows, right? And not every knife that's presented is going to be about battle either.
Yeah.
Because they're witnesses, right? How many blades out there that have been created are just collecting dust in a locker somewhere or up on a wall that's never, ever, ever seen combat, but has probably seen some really good stories to tell.
Yeah.
One of them could be just like, I was a witness to a love triangle. Boy, you should have seen the sex going on, man. But man, I sat here watching the whole thing, want to cover my eyes.
From the perspective of a letter opener. Right?
Yeah.
Not even a traditional blade, right? Like
Yeah,
thing. There's so much cool stuff you can do, Doug. It's very
healing after.
Thank you.
Hours.
Now you get it. There are some blades that are nothing more than ceremonial. It can't ever be used for combat. That's what I learned. I would in Fortune Fire. I'm like, what? Who would carry this to battle? This is ridiculous. You can't even sheath it properly. Well, it's a ceremonial thing. Blades are also used as a status symbol. Nothing more than ornamental. Right? Blades are found in flags to be symbols of strength or honor, integrity. So it's all meaningful to different people, different cultures. It's got a different story to tell.
I love that.
What is the greatest blade you've designed, do you think? Do you have one, like a special one that you've done?
I have many of them over here. I'm not going to say one because they will attack me and get pissed. there are three of them staring at me right now saying, I'm like, no, all of you are as good. I love you all. You're all great. I design blades according to function. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, they're just like it's like socks, right? You just can't wear one.
Yeah.
Does that even make sense? Anyways, you can't pick one, right? You got to change them up. No, I love designing because of an inspiration. I love being creative. But I also like to design things according to the function of how I would move with it, how I would use it. Hence why I continue to create them. There's a feeling of creation that I truly enjoy.
Yeah, I love that. Like, and that's part of the whole creative thing, whatever medium or.
Yeah, well, okay, for example,
many kinds of art.
Well, this is the karambit. It's also curved. This is a stick impact. And when you put it like this, it's called a karambit on a stick, right? So different purposes. Well, that's a karambit on a stick. It's a karambit. Well, if I hold it this way, it's just like a karambit here, but I got my stick here, so I use it that way too. So you got impact, you got edge, you can hook with it. I can also use it this way. So you never know how somebody uses it, but it's the fun creativity of doing it.
Love that.
It's the idea of be able to move with it and then find the unique ways. I mean, I can use it overhand this way, or I can switch underhand. I can also use blade in or switch in blade or blade in this way. There's so many ways, right? So it's a creativity. It's a dance with the medium being martial arts. But everyone I train with, we're all friends. We're family. We're enjoying. We're having laughter. We're not fighting with it. Yeah, we can fight with it, but to me, that's a loss already. Right? The fight you do martial arts to be better in life, not bitter in life.
No, I hear that. One question I had, so we're talking about designing blades and stuff. Have you ever designed a blade for like a famous like action star or any, like a?
No, I have not.
No,
I have not yet. I have not yet.
And I feel like that could be something cool. Like I'm surprised no one's come to you yet.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Jack Perry makes blades, so I'm
does
surprised
he
he hasn't reached out yet or connected with you yet, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Post Malone follows me and he loves blades.
Yeah.
Call me.
There you go.
Right? Like, I'm shocked that hasn't happened yet. Like
in due time, I think. In due time.
Opportunities waiting to happen, I would say. Right.
Speaking of celebrities, have you replaced Steven Seagal as the deadliest celebrity? Or
No, not at all. Please, no.
I mean, I've seen him in action. He can beat up people by not even touching them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Respect to him because his first movie, Above the Law, made a very big impression on me. I enjoyed the action that he did. He was the first one to do to showcase Aikido and Aikido Jiu-Jitsu in its beautiful form. So that much I'll give, and respect and thanks to him. And he did Filipino martial arts, a very weird rendition of doing the sticks this way. But I'm like, hey, he took the time to do it and bring in one of the legends, Dan Inosanto, into it, and Jeff Imada. So those are my heroes. Also, they were in the movie.
Maybe that was Seagal Kali. Who knows? His own version.
One other thing I wanted to ask too: do you do a lot of conventions, Doug? Do you go to a lot of conventions?
No, I don't. No, like I said, I've only done comic conventions so far. I'm very low key. Even when I was in doing television and everything else, there are no red carpets I like to do. It's not who I am. This is me. Yeah. I'm a sweat daddy. I wear sweats, jeans, all that. That's it. Yeah. I don't dress up. I don't feel even comfortable if I dress up. It's not who I am. I'm from a third world. I'm comfortable being that way. That's what I want to be.
That's what we love. That's what we love about you, man. So everybody out there, the QR code is up on the upper right corner there with the link to Lineage Kickstarter. So check that out, everybody. It looks like we moved the needle a little bit. It went up. You're at 40.
Well, be part of it, right? You get to pass this forward. And then one of the things, when you guys become part of this, I'd like to come back and do a comic book reading. So we can go through all the little Easter eggs in there, like the comic art in itself. Look at that.
I love that page.
Not only that,
Filipino flag.
You got it. He put the Filipino flag in there. When they remembered how to fight and they did the ritual, that's our bow. All of a sudden, their father came to life. And you can see the Kali martial arts moves there and the blades, and it's just the artwork and the colors that stand out.
It really does pop.
Yes. Is this story loosely based on your brother and your dad, or would you say?
Well, there's a lot of family issues. I know. So no, I'm close to my siblings. My father was estranged. He was there, but he was also a disciplinarian. Different ways of my reaction to that. But the word brotherhood, really, I've always been a brotherhood. I was in a gang. My siblings and my cousins grew up. We were in a brotherhood with a street fighting group. Then in my high school days, I was a jock. So I had my soccer group, my basketball group. I did parties a lot. I had my drug vices group that I hung out with. Thank God I got away from that. But then in the military, there was always a brotherhood. That's why I started with that. I was always around people. And that can be good and bad. So the fact that you can rise from it, it was you tell me who you hang around with and I'll tell you who you are. It's 100% true. When I was with a bad group, I got nothing but bad versions of that. When I was able to use brothers as a group to pull me away and bring me into the light. I was in a cultish group of martial artists. It took for an instructor to pull me and bring me to his group that were all good martial artists who believe that whatever you do has to be good for your soul. That wasn't. That guy just wanted me to be a pit bull and get into trouble all the time. Yet he himself, that teacher, is not a fighter. Because you see, when you've been there and you cross the line, you will never wish to revisit again. They're quiet. They say, empty drum make a lot of noise. That was my teacher there. He'd pick fights for us. This one who's been around says, no, you don't want to fight. What's wrong with you? You have a family. You want to go to jail? There are consequences. You think the law will look kind on you? All this warrior mentality will not do you any good in a civilized society. The warrior mentality will end up in jail, broke. You will lose your job. You will lose this. It's nothing but loss. If you're lucky, you lose your life. That's one of the things that I had to find a teacher to pull me away from that. And it's all in here.
Wow.
Parts of it. Be careful what you choose. Be careful what you wish for. I looked at my teachers who were fighters because I had that mentality full of testosterone, right? Then I was worshiping the men. We do that. We actually make excuses for our teachers when they do bad things. That's cultish behavior. We make excuses. We blindly follow them. Then you make these heroes because you think they're such badasses, right? The fighter, warrior, and everything else. Let's stop for a second. Study men, you understand the system. Study the man. Let's take away the fighting. Okay, good. Oh, he's divorced. Oh, he can't hold a job. Oh, he's a con man. Oh, he's a criminal. Oh, all these bad things. Let's look at the guy who's never been in a fight. He's a leader in his group. He's a good father, a good leader. He's always there with his family. Oh, he cares for his students and everything else. Yet he's never fought in his life. Oh, he's not even in shape like the UFC guys. Is he a good teacher, a good martial artist? Yeah, seems to know how to live, doesn't he? Everything he does as a martial artist is good for his soul, huh? Yet those are your heroes. That's what you have to find out. I was blessed to have a teacher to pull me away from the Cobra Kai mentality because I could have easily fallen there.
I was going to say, this feels like
very
Cobra
much, very much Cobra Kai, yeah.
They exist.
Yeah.
They exist.
Did your parents get a chance to see you in your successes, or and also if you can go back in time and tell your younger self something, what would you say to that kid?
Well, for my parents, my mother passed away at a young age when she was only 48. So she has not seen my success. She saw me in the middle. She was always proud of me. She always was proud of me. So I get strength in that. My father, yeah, he's seen my successes. So he's proud of that too. If I ever got a chance to see my younger self, I'd probably tell myself, be kind. Be kind. It'll get you in a long way. Everything that you do in the end, when you grow up, be kind to everyone.
That's
you certainly turned out okay, you know.
Well, yeah,
you've done well. You've done well for yourself. You know, really.
I got lucky. I got blessed to have people and angels and people around me to teach me and forgive me, to give me a second chance. That's the most important thing, because I'm a very vindictive person. I have a lot of bad issues, but the fact that they told me you can change too. Can I? Well, okay, thank you. And it's my family. My wife has given me so many chances, and I wouldn't be here without my family. As a matter of fact, learning martial arts and traveling to martial arts and everything, that's a gift. Because she would say, one time she came up and goes, "You are miserable," because I had to leave that group, right? It was hard. Yeah. And he goes, "Well, tell you what, you're not allowed to do martial arts anymore." I go, "What? What do you mean?" "Well, when you do martial arts, you're never home. You spend so many hours where you travel all over the world. You're not here with them. Look at them." She pointed to my kids. "They're your true fans, but you're not here. You're doing your passion. So this is a gift for you. Now, if you can't enjoy it, we want that gift back." So I had to change. You're right. I better enjoy it. I better do it for the good.
Sounds like you picked the perfect woman that knows
I
how
did.
Right? To get into
I
your
did.
study like that.
I did. I'll guarantee you, every strong man out there, every man that actually is happy and is, shall we say, able to do things the right way, it's because there's a strong woman behind it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love saying it's true. It's true.
I love
Yeah,
that.
they got to bring you in. If I were allowed to do everything myself, I'd be dead in a gutter somewhere there, past drunk. And who knows? I guarantee you that I will make the wrong choices all the time. I know.
Yeah, leaving Cobra Kai, you'd be like, yeah.
I think you walk a path of good and a path of light, Doug, is because you had the perspective of walking on the other side of that track, right? Because you walk the other side, you now understand respect, and you can, you have a better, more clearer path forward, man.
Yep. You have to be very careful about, there's the idea of redemption, but there's also be careful, and you got to truly know yourself. You got to know yourself and be careful what you wish for. Nothing is ever what you think. Just like in Lineage, we never thought that he was a true demon. It was just a man in a mask. But then you start to realize that the people around you, there is unity in adversity. We can come together to build. There's strength in slowly finding out about the things that you don't want to see, because they're too embarrassing, they're too painful, right? So it's a life story. There's a lot of life lessons, because you see in Kali, When do we teach this? We use a stick. Why a stick? Do we fight with a stick? Nobody fights with a stick. But in Kali, we teach you to see things beyond normal perception. Do you see a screwdriver here? Do you see a karambit here? Do you see a flexible weapon here? Do you see all these things? You will learn to see that. I can use, doesn't matter what put in my hands. I can use a lot. I can kill with a toothpick. I mean, it's just what you see out there. You make it work. It's emotive because why? In the beginning, Filipino martial arts, you learn single knife, double knife, two knives, and everything else. That's a beginner. But then when you become advanced, these are all nothing but tools. Well, it's impact. That means it's just a blunt force trauma. Oh, it's got an edge. I can lacerate. It's got a point. It can puncture. If it's flexible, I can wrap around things. You start to look at attributes of the tool because there is only one weapon. I am the weapon.
Right.
Everything is a tool. The tools are never evil. I can be evil in the use of the tool, or I can also be good and responsible in the use of the tool. Let's not take away the responsibility of each person. These are inanimate objects.
Yeah, I love that.
I know.
Well,
I know that.
Too longer, but Harry, do you have more questions?
Oh, good. Well, nothing really important. But I was going to say, I know in season 4 there was a little incident where you got hurt. I think. Have you ever gotten seriously hurt, or any contestant on Fortune Fire? Did they have ever gotten cut or hurt somehow?
No, thank God. You know, Fortune Fire, we are 100% about safety. That's why we have protocols. The only time I ever got hurt was when I was outside doing a festival. I was in a hurry. I cut myself because I disrespected the blade. I didn't follow my protocols. I would let me get this cutting done, and they did something fancy. It was supposed to be. I picked up a weapon. A lot of people don't realize when I pick up a weapon to test it on Fortune Fire, it's the first time I've ever picked it up. You never, ever do that. You have to gauge yourself. You have to practice with it and everything before you go crazy cutting anything. I don't have that luxury. That's why it's scary. But we do follow the protocols. We are very important. Nothing is ever worth getting anybody hurt with. So.
Gotcha. That's great. No, it's good to hear, especially like you guys are handling, weapons. So
there's only one reason they're made. They're made to kill. They're sharp. They're scary.
Yeah.
Many times do I pick up a weapon, I'm like, is this gonna explode on me if I'm cutting? Because they want me to decapitate some stuff. That some of these that requires a lot of foot, and I'm looking at the follow through. We never get to see how they're made. We're not allowed to, so we have partiality in there. So we don't know all these issues on the blade. So
helps bring us back to reality a little bit, right? Oh, I can still bleed, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, Harry. Any last questions for Doug before we let him go? I don't want to keep him.
I have a couple. Yeah, I mean, I think I've answered all. I've asked all the important. I mean, I hope you come back. I can have plenty more to ask you, and we hope you come back.
You guys are a fun live group, also. So we should do that, and let's go through the comic. Once you're able to do, you've been able to see it, and then I'd love to go through because I'm just dying to tell all these different things that I see because I can always revisit it and see more. I keep telling people, you need to go back to your past because we will always see it with different eyes. Today, I look at something, it'll be different in a year because so many things will happen to me. That's why I tell them, keep revisiting the past with new skills or sometimes even some training methodologies. I can't do it that way anymore. Why? Well, I was 20 years old when I was training that. Now I'm up in my late 50s or 60s and I can't do that anymore. So I have to evolve. I have to change. The passion is there, but you also grow with it. So same thing with the comic book. We'll be looking at it from different points of view too.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
I told the story before.
Go ahead, Harry.
So when I was growing up, I was I must have been like 12 or early teens. I took Taekwondo, for the first time, and I made it to because we have belts in Taekwondo. So I made it to 2nd degree green belt, and right around that time is when you begin sparring. You find a partner and you spar in class, whatever. And just like high school, when picking teams for a sport, or whatever, our instructor says, "Okay, guys, pair up, with a fellow student. That'll be your sparring partner." So it's like, "All right, team up," and then everyone teamed up, and I was like left alone, like with nobody. And there was like one other kid that wasn't picked as well, So he came up to me, he's a little Asian kid, and he's like, "I'm like, oh hey," he's like, he asked me, he's like, "Want to be partners?" I'm like, "Sure, yeah." I mean, we're the only ones left, of course. So I'm like, I'm Harry. I'm like, "Who are you?" It's like, "Oh, Bruce." Like Bruce Lee. He's like, "Yeah, that's my name." So I can honestly say that I fought with the great Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee. There you go. Cool.
The one thing I was going to ask though, before you leave, Doug, when do you expect the comic to be in people's hands? Like,
well, we're working on issue 2. It's almost done. I believe by end of March, issue 2 will be done. But we're hoping to finish the whole thing this year. Hence, for the Kickstarter, we want to get this all done on a paperback, issues 1 through 4, for the whole story could be told, so I can move on to book number 2.
Oh, very cool.
And there's lots of awesome tears.
Go ahead, sorry.
You're gonna show this comic at San Diego ComicCon this year, right? You're gonna
I'm hoping by then that we'll have it all.
A year later.
Hopefully a year later, the whole series. I can't tell. So, my gosh, issue 2 is not even the issue 3. Yeah, it's just crazy. When in the end of this, it's basically the brothers realized, okay, now we got something going on. What's going on? The journey begins. It begins with them going back to the Philippines and looking back in the past. And what do you think that's going to bring about? Yeah, so there's so much that you're going to see, like, okay, let's open Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Bam. Yeah. So I'm just so excited with the artwork, the feeling. We're constantly talking about it. And just when the artist starts drawing, I'm just like, wow, how can I'm just going to explode. How can I not be so excited about what's coming up, you know? But that's why it's a good thing. It's almost one of those things, guys. If you Kickstarter, join us, because I'll guarantee you, I won't want to say, if you don't like it, get back your money, but Kickstarter will kill me for saying that. But, it's one of those things. I'm in my last quarter of my life. Let me share something with you. Be part of it so that you can pass on something too. Let other people shine with the things that we're enjoying. We're having fun with this. You're collecting this. Pass it to the next person. Be part of it. You think I'm not teaching my first seminar this year? I'm teaching this, the karambit and the tomahawk in Miami. Yeah, the characters that are in there. I'm teaching the art of training with this, because you got to know how to move with it, right? It's got a meaning to it. So when you get these, there's a whole meaning. Plus, these are being used by some first special forces unit right now, because I'm going back to tomahawk fighting.
Love it. So good. Guys, any last words for Doug before we close out the interview with him?
Harry? No, just a pleasure meeting you. It's been,
same thing. Send me that drawing. I'll post it somewhere. I'm going to screen grab it and share it.
Where can I send it?
Just send to Jeff. You got my email.
Jeff, if you want to, you can send it to me, Harry, and I'll pass it
Okay.
along.
Well, yep, sure. No problem. Yep.
And
thank you,
Doug, sincerely, I do hope you come back onto the show. We'd love to find out more about the way the story expands. Your excitement for this story is infectious. I'm too.
Well, thank you.
Can't wait to have a copy in hand to check it out and read it. And,
we'll talk about issue 2, but I think we'll talk about the next issue and all the stuff that's in there too after we talk about 1. Yeah, I would love to. It will be a pleasure.
Can't wait to see the future of this project.
Put it this way, the podcast you have here and our talking, that too will be passed on. It's forever digital. When we're gone, 20 years from now, we look back, hey, you want to see my great-great-great-grandfather talk while he could talk?
Yeah.
Want to see when he still had teeth in his mouth? Let's go back into this video.
Looking at the Kickstarter, looks like we got you a couple backers tonight. Which
all right.
Awesome.
Congrats, guys. You will not regret it.
Yeah,
thank you very much.
Let's move this needle. We got 14 days to get this over the finish line. Everybody.
You'll get there. We're patient.
And we'll leave the QR code up for the rest of our episode here while we're talking.
Awesome.
All right, guys. If you're watching this tomorrow, look for the description in the video for the Kickstarter for Doug's Lineage comic. The thing looks awesome. Become part of the Lineage.
Be part of it. I guarantee you it'll be a great adventure.
Yeah, that's awesome, Doug.
Right. Yep.
Great. It was a pleasure to talk to you, sir.
Thanks.
And we will be watching you on Forged in Fire with the new season.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Take care, guys.
Have a great night.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Hey, Doug. Have a good one.
Cheers.
We'll see you. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Dude.
Wow. That was amazing.
Wasn't it? Oh,
that was really cool. A lot of perspective. He did a lot of what we all the creators we have on the show pretty much talked very similarly to the same way he talked about imbuing their project with pieces of them. right? And this is very much a piece of him. You could see it, through
Yeah.
everything he said, through all of his experiences. This is very much the fiber of his being, this comic.
But that idea of an object and then like how it touches all these different, realities, like people, different different walks of life, and like you've seen that in other media and here and there, but like different pieces of this.
Yeah.
But like, I love the thought process behind it.
It's almost like a little bit like 100 Bullets in a way. It's like, Blade gets delivered to, whatever. And then it carries the story that way, very cool concept.
And then other ideas like, what was that character in DC that was on Suicide Squad that has the sword that
Katana?
like takes people's, Katana takes people's souls. And like, it has all these souls within the blade.
The blade.
There's a little bit of that idea. And there's so much other media that I'm even thinking of, like most recently when I watched the full cut, the full version of Kill Bill.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The whole process of the Hataro Hanze sword. Remember that?
Yeah.
What a big deal it was to get this guy to make you a sword that was like, because he had retired and then he come out of retirement to make this one sword for revenge, stuff like that. Good. Like it really, 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 really hits on that level. So I hope he comes back down the road. I'd love to.
I hope so.
I'd love to have him go through the book live on the air. We'll put it on the big screen, and we'll make us,
I'd like to see him do a Lineage anthology where he opens it up to have creative teams tell stories on Blades. That would be cool
too. That would be a cool idea
because then you get different art styles.
We should have told him that.
I know, right? Well, I'm sure he's watching now, right? After the fact.
Yeah.
But it'll be really cool because then at that point, not only are you just passing on to the reader, but you're now becoming a beacon by bringing in other independent creators to help elevate the story. You know what I mean?
Right. I wonder, like me and Harry were talking too. Like, I wonder, I'll have to reach out through Jeff and see if I would love to have him come up for the day on, for Plastic City Comic.
Oh, that would be really cool.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great guest. I wonder if he would do that. I'll have to check with Jeff and see if he'll come up. I mean, Harry, you were saying he films in Connecticut, right? Or
that's where Forge and Fire is filmed in Connecticut, so it's not that far away. So
so
in our backyard almost.
I'll have to reach out.
And
to
he
Jeff.
He lives in New York, so it's still relatively
close.
Close. And
Maybe you come up. That'd be cool. Like, I think he'd be a great guest at the show, right?
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
And he would probably kill it with comics there too.
He would kill it.
Literally, kill it. And you wouldn't need security. Like, you could probably take care of business himself if you wanted to. You can.
Yeah, I'll have to. I want to watch more of the show. I've only seen a handful of episodes.
Oh yeah, Johnny, I was telling Keith that
anymore, so I'll have to see where they stream it.
There's an all WWE episode of Forge and Fire where the winner at the end not only gets the $10,000, but they test out their weapons that they make. They use like a steel chair. You gotta stab the chair with a weapon that they make. And then the other test is like a ladder. They whack the ladder, see how well it holds up. And like I forget what else.
Cool.
But at the end, Ric Flair shows up and he presents a WWE belt to the winner. So it's kind of funny. The whole thing is
like pretty cool.
Yeah, that was really fun. Yeah.
That seems like a missed opportunity because I think I forget the guy's name, but there's a guy who comes to the ring with a sword, and so that would have been perfect, right? That sells itself,
Yeah, I didn't know the thing about Jack Perry doing knives. That's interesting.
Yeah, so Jack Perry.
For people that don't know Jack Perry, he's a wrestler in AEW, but he's also Luke Perry's son, right?
That's right. He's Luke Perry's son. If you watch the documentary, You Can't Kill David Arquette.
I've heard of that. I wanted to see that.
It's a great documentary. It's basically about David Arquette trying to redeem himself in the professional wrestling world after his stint in the early 2000s in that movie Ready to Rumble, where as a promo, as a bit, they gave him the world championship to sell the movie. And that really pissed off a lot of actual professional wrestlers. They're like, no, we, put our bodies on the line for this belt, and you're just handing it off to an actor. So in retrospect, he wanted to go out and put his body on the line to kind of retroactively earn that world title. And in it, he has this death match with Nick Gage, who people who know Nick Gage, like his trademark is to take a pizza cutter to people's faces. And I know. And so in that match, Dave Arquette gets his jugular cut and has to be rushed to the hospital, driven by Luke Perry and Jack Perry.
Oh, cool.
So that's where Jack Perry gets that little cameo in that movie. But beyond that, when Jack Perry, I think it was in his downtime from AEW, like he would be going on YouTube and he would show these blades he was making.
Oh, cool.
And it was just really cool stuff.
My father used to actually make knives. He didn't
really?
He didn't. He didn't forge them, but you would make like like pocket knives, and like he made some really nice ones with like ivory handles and things. I think I have a couple of them upstairs.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my father was like he was a hunter, skeet shooter, all that stuff. So like he was into all of that, and he had books and he probably watched a lot of Forged in Fire, because he was a big History Channel guy too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he loved to. I buy him for Christmas books on how to make knives and stuff. Yeah, he was totally all about that outdoor stuff, and
yeah, that's cool.
more for hunting. I think he was more the hunter kind of, but yeah, it was really cool, So yeah, it was cool to have him as a guest, and yeah, my wife here.
Oh, that was fun.
Keith's dad made beautiful pocket knives. Hey, we got another backer. He got 3 backers from the show tonight. Which is awesome.
Oh,
that's
awesome.
huge.
I still have the page up on my other screen. That's why. Yeah, no, I love that. So he's up to 40 now. I think when they came on, he was at 37. So awesome.
But but he's
always moved the needle a little bit, right, guys?
Yeah, just a smidge. I mean, he's pacing pretty well to the point where he could very easily, hit the goal by the end of the campaign. As long as they keep promoting it and they keep doing, we'll promote it, we'll do our part, obviously, but as long as they keep sticking to it, that campaign will hit. I hope it hits because I want to get my copy.
Yeah, I'll try to I'll put an ICR bid up next week of I'll try to cut out a section where he's talking about the book, and I'll put that up as a bit just so we can get it in there before his campaign ends, so that'll definitely give him maybe a little more boost.
Maybe a little boost, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. Did you guys want to go into our project tonight, or did you want to kind of, I don't know, how you guys feeling?
I don't think we should ruin the thunder of tonight by trying to roll out something new. No.
I'm kind of.
I think we should just keep continuing to tease and tell people to keep watching. And we're about to announce
we'll keep it in the forge
ourselves.
Yeah, keep it in the forge. I like that.
Keep it in the forge.
We'll keep it in the forge.
What do they call it? Like, what was it? What's the term when they stick it in the not buffering? I forget what the term is. Yeah,
tempering.
Yeah, is that what it is, Harry?
When they temper steel?
When they try to take the warp out of the blade? Quenching. That's what it was. Quenching. Yeah.
In the oil at the end. We'll quench it.
Quenching.
I'm very happy that we had him on by himself too, like a solo guest, because we learned I think it's pretty cool that we focus on that, and we learned a lot, I think. Really
maybe when we have him back to do the reading, maybe he could bring like the writer or somebody that helped him put the book together. That would be cool to talk to
their perspective,
to both of them, and see, what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe we'll find other Easter eggs that night. That would be really cool. I think that would be a cool episode to just take a look at. We've never done that where we've gone through a whole book and like just broke it down into
director's cut, like a director's cut of the book. Yeah, we should definitely facilitate that if Doug is.
I haven't done it with my own books.
Actually, that would be fun. Yeah, if we did go take our own books to do as a trial process or whatever.
Yeah, we can
that'd
practice.
be
But yeah,
kind of
right.
cool, you know, like,
Yeah, that wouldn't be so
and
bad.
having Harry, who's like, on the outside kind of things, looking at it, would be cool.
From the third party perspective, yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm on the spectrum.
But if we wanted to announce something tonight, I can announce where I'll be at C2E2.
Yeah, you already got your table?
We have our table. It's going to be tables M5 and M6 in Artist Alley at C2E2 this month, the end of this month.
Damn, dude, that's coming up quick.
Coming up real quick. And the weekend before that, I'll be at Dragon's Realm Con.
Hell, your convention season starts in a couple
Just starting.
weeks.
Yeah, I know, it's kicking off. So yeah, Dragon's Realm Con is in 2 weeks. And then
Where's
C2E2 in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Where's Dragon's Realm Con?
It's a new show that's going to be in Danbury, Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the armory? Is there an armory there?
I don't
Like
know.
a
I'm not familiar
mint-
with Danbury very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. Because every like thing I've seen, like you can like in magazines, like a pewter set of like whatever, it's like made in Danbury, Connecticut. It's like the big pewtering company or whatever.
It's got to
I
be a
don't know,
factory
different
town or
things, like-
something.
There's a lot of crap in my head, Johnny. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Full of useless facts.
Danbury Mint. The Danbury Mints, I believe.
Yeah.
I was gonna say my convention season's starting like mid-April. I got Kids Con. I'm doing the Retro Expo. I think you're doing that
We
show
have
as
Retro
well.
Expo. Yep, we're doing that one.
And the only other thing I booked on the horizon is Wicked. Wicked's in May.
I want to get in on that. I just haven't pulled the
Yeah, you
trigger
should
yet.
probably do that
You're
soon,
doing
Johnny. I
soon,
don't know
yeah.
if it's filling up or not, or what
You
that
know-
situation
You know what
is.
this reminds me of? Remember at the end of like old school WWF wrestling, like superstars of wrestling, like here's where you can see like Hulk Hogan and Paul Orndorff. At the end of the wrestling, there's like a whole list of like events and like where you can see these stars. Yeah, so at the end of the show, maybe you can have guys like list some of your appearances. So maybe people can come and see you guys or whatever.
And we present
be
it
good to
in the
know.
vein of superstars.
Or
Sure.
we can bring up our ice cream bars again.
Or it could be like
Superstars.
we could do it like a wrestling promo. Johnny,
Yeah,
you'll
right.
see me at Wicked Comic-Con May 25th with bells
Yeah,
on.
right. Right. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be.
Added,
Why don't comic book people cut more promos?
They should.
Right?
Well, I think comic book a lot of artists and are kind of introverts.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mhm.
I'd say that. Wouldn't you say that's at least 50% of the community very introverted?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
so-
that's the key. You have to break out of that shell just to get your
Yeah,
stuff noticed.
right.
If you want to have your artwork seen, you gotta do the dance.
Got to do the dance, man.
You
I
gotta
like
do
that.
the dance.
Anything else you guys want to tease?
Harry,
anything-
anything else? Can we see Harry's image
No,
again?
Yeah, I still got it right
and-
here. Let me.
Yeah,
let me
let's
pull it
wrap up the show tonight with featuring it. Look at this
there he
thing. This
is.
is awesome.
Yeah, right.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
and
Harry-
if you notice, he's holding the little
Yeah,
weapon
you got
there,
the knife in there,
the star,
too,
the star of the book.
I love it, man.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you liked
That's
it.
great. Yeah, I thought your likeness of him was very good. Have you
Yeah, it
ever
was
thought
good.
of doing caricature like art?
I've
like-
done them before. Yeah, remember I showed you that bizarre
bear.
show that we were on together. The
Yes,
the bear, Larry the bear,
Yeah.
but also the
Yeah.
Ed Cohen show, that caricature. So I do them, but like
That
for
train
example,
wreck.
like something. Yeah, right. I when I get really inspired by something, like I was excited about tonight's guest because I was a fan, like I said from before. So I'm like, so I just started drawing him. And I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe he might want to see this. So I had to do it, and it doesn't always happen, but I was watching some shows and I started sketching. And I'm like, oh, all right. And I kind of finished it. So it's not all the time that I do them, but I can do them.
right.
So I'm glad that I have
Well,
that in my
When inspiration strikes, right?
right. That's
Yeah,
kind of how I work, pretty much. And
Well, no,
an
it's
idea
cool.
pops
I'm
in my
glad
head, and
you,
I have to do it.
I'm glad you
Yeah.
made it. It was kind of that was cool. I think he really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'll definitely get it to him. Like
I'll send you the file or the picture.
So Doug came to us through Jeffrey Haas, who was on the show 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And he talked about on the show is he does promoting for Kickstarters. So I think Doug went to him for some help promoting. So I can just send all that stuff to Doug and see what the situation is. But also at the same time, I'll inquire about maybe having him come up for Plastic City ComicCon too.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Would be cool.
He'd be a great guest, right? Like,
absolutely.
It'd be cool, So I'm also like, I talked to my buddy Matt Mann yesterday. We were talking about having Chris Poland from Megadeth come to the show this year.
That would be awesome.
It's not looking like it might happen. I think he's got too many other commitments. But now we're looking at, because Matt Mann knows a lot of these like rock star guys. We're talking about the lead singer from Stryper coming to the show.
That would be cool.
Michael Sweet. Yeah, remember Stryper? They were awesome.
Yeah.
They had some good music. So I'd love to see like if there's an audience for the music stuff too on top, because I feel like good like music kind of mixes with comics as well.
Of course,
like, especially metal, and rock.
Absolutely.
And all that, So, so yeah, we'll try that. And I think I'm going to do that instead of a wrestler this year. Because wrestlers, as much as I love them, it ends up being a lot of money.
And it depends, because if you can get somebody, but if they're not like bringing the heat at the moment, it could be it could be hit or miss. You know what I mean?
Plus, there's a lot of moving parts this year with doing the new hours, having the VIP thing, because we're shifting the show hours from 10 to 5 to 9 to 4.
Yep.
To the general public, it'll still be 10 to 4, but anyone who wants to buy a VIP ticket can come in at 9, and they'll get like a package with a print and stuff like that. And they can come in an hour early.
Maybe
it'll be a little more expensive.
You can sign the fake Jim Carrey. Did you see that?
I saw that.
Like, holy.
Did you hear about this, Keith?
It's like,
oh yeah, his stunt double or something, right?
No. There's a makeup artist who they went to some gathering as Jim Carrey, but like the internet took it as Jim Carrey was body swapped, because this person looked so much. They had a fake mask, teeth. They used contacts. They went the whole 9 yards. They genuinely looked like Jim Carrey, to the point that Rachel's sister was texting Rachel last night going, they body swapped Jim Carrey. It's not really him anymore. You know what I mean? Like that old conspiracy theory. They say, they swap out actors or whatever.
Yeah. Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
I mean, right. Because Jim Brewer said that about Dave Chappelle.
Really?
Yeah, which is a little odd, but
isn't Jim Brewer kind of off the reservation now? Like,
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, like I think he's like kind of out there now.
Right.
He used to come on Howard Stern all the time, but I have not heard him on there.
Oh, right. Doing the Goat Boy impression, like all the time.
But I mean, they were both in Half Baked together, right? So you
that's right.
Know each other.
He used to tell some really funny stories on Howard, though. Like,
I bet.
Had me friggin' gut laughing. Like they were just so good.
But his dad too. His dad carrying his
like
dad around
his pants all the time.
Yeah, right. right.
Oh god.
But
yeah. So I don't know. I didn't follow that story too much, to be honest with you guys. So
it was definitely Jim Carrey. To borrow a Johnny word, he's very Jim Carrey adjacent. He wasn't exactly Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
maybe like a brother or a cousin or something. Like it's something.
But it was pretty spot on for not being Jim Carrey.
Yeah,
Scarily spot on, right? Like Gary,
right?
But
no much else going on. Me and Johnny went to LPW on Friday. That was a lot of fun.
That was a
Oh,
good
yeah,
show.
Lucky Pro.
Great storytelling throughout that event. It's not often you can go to a wrestling event, let alone a local one, that has a good through line of storytelling from A to Z. Every match informed leading up to the end.
So much so that I think they ran over in time. That's why they kind of the lucky lottery seemed to be a little rushed.
Yo, yeah, it was a little quick. Yeah.
But like it was for a good thing. Like them setting up stories. There's so much potential with that league. I just they're missing that one little crucial piece that me and you always talk about, Johnny.
Yeah,
they could be legit.
Pyrotechnics.
Yes.
Well, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. You know what it is? It's you're not wrong, Harry. It's presentation, right?
Yeah.
What differentiates the indie versus the big leagues in comics, in wrestling, in this, us versus the Tonight Show, is production, stuff like that.
Engagement.
Right. And I think that if we tried to be like them, we would look bargain, like a bargain basement, Make-A-Wish version, right? But doing this
version,
we are the best version of this.
Yes.
So. Yeah,
absolutely.
Was that also when
I have
Lemon
fun
Sphere?
with you guys? So like to me, it's like me hanging out with you guys.
Right.
We'd be having the same conversation off the air,
Right. It's no different. That's why we have to be careful what we're saying when we're still alive.
Yeah, exactly.
And on that note, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you. I unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about or promote tonight, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, I got nothing.
You got nothing? All right, let me turn off the QR code here. All right. Yeah, everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you're just joining us now, go back to the beginning of the show.
Great.
Watch Doug's interview with us. We started right off the bat with him, and he gave us an hour, maybe a little more than an hour. It was so kind of him. Great guest, great philosophy on this comic. So check it out. It's in the description of the video. Lineage. It looks amazing. We got another backer for him tonight. It's almost at 5,000. Awesome. It's at 41 now. Nice. So
wow, look at that.
Yeah, so let's go, guys. Let's get this over the finish line. Be a part of it, and so check it out. And then like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Join us every other Monday for our live streams at 9 p.m. Eastern. We got some great guests coming up. That's about it, everybody. Most importantly, read comics, everybody. Be nice to each other too.
Be excellent to one another.
Yeah, that's it. Be excellent to each other. All right, everybody.
Have your pets spayed and neutered.
There you go. That's a great one too. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night.